Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be Alliance War number 7 in season 32. Currently New Nation is in 3rd position overall, 3rd in Masters with 1 loss and 5 wins. So this is War 7 and we're up against Salty. Now they are smaller alliance, however I haven't heard that name previously, I think from Daddy Longlegs videos and a few others, and I definitely know that they are also a very capable alliance. So shout out to Salty Warriors. But obviously New Nation kind of entered this fight as the favorite. So for this war, I'm going to be using my lousy little tiny 5-star Odin and also Magneto and Nimrod. I actually only have about 4 fights and plenty of them. Well, it's not the most exciting war from me, but we still need to get through it. So I'm taking full advantage of the free mastery swaps. Obviously, we're going to boost up fully as well. And Warlock is a very good placement on this one node because you're going to start with the weakness debuff on because Warlock gets an armor up and that's going to trigger Warlock's degeneration. Now, luckily, Warlock is not super high sig, so the degen is not going to be overly potent. I still use Power Stat 1 boost just to help me get to my special quicker. And I should have thrown my level 1 at the beginning of this fight, but I'm going to decide against it. So we're going to be using Magneto. Also, a fair shout is that I'm doing all of my fights after the global boss has been taken down and the global node is not in play anymore. That has been our strategy for majority of the wars. If possible at all, get boss down with as few members as possible. Sometimes we even leave that brute force mini boss alive and then take down the boss. Thanks to Finn largely, who's just insane Tigra player. And then we clear most of the map. It's just much easier that way because the unstoppable armor is a fairly tricky node for several champions, for several nodes, and it is often difficult to find good counters that, you know, wouldn't involve quite significant amount of risk of those unstoppables messing up the fights. So here, it's a simple Magneto fight. I should have thrown my level 1 initially, I didn't, but I saw that degen was quite small, so I hope that level 2 will finish the fight with that armor break, allowing me to crit, but it didn't. And then I dropped to level 1 and I still didn't crit, but still, it's Magneto against a metal robot champion, so not too much could go wrong there. And the fight's done. Now in section 2, I am going to be on path 9, and very nicely for me, there are 2 mutant champions on path 9. So we're going to be using Nimrod. Odin's pre-fights are just to give me that shock resistance. To be honest, I have done this lane with Nimrod plenty of times without Odin's pre-fights as well. You can just kind of, you know, parry through that phase and slow play it. But with Odin's pre-fights, it's even easier because you don't really need to worry about shock. Magneto, however, is quite good placement because of that one-eyed open node. And I'm going to play this fight quite messy. Again, I'm not going to be definitely showing myself from the best possible gameplay here, because the thing with Magneto is it's you can't bait heavy attacks and then punish them because of the unstoppable, and because you can't do that and now you can't attack from parry either, you kind of need to land an intercept basically or punish a special attack. Magneto's level 1 is very hard to punish. Now this is one trick that I have been kind of teaching myself. There is a bit of opening after Magneto's heavy attack that you can utilize. You can utilize it if he's under bar power. If he's over bar power, then obviously he can just special you in the face. But if he's under bar power after he throws heavy attack, there is a time you can run in an attack. So I was trying to play with that. I'm fairly kind of comfortable with that for most part, but I don't know, I'm going to get a bit shy, I guess, later on in the fight. But the point is, I have dropped my level 1 and I'm going to drop my level 2, but as I dropped my level 2 I was too slow and energy vulnerability had expired already. Now because of that, Magneto is still alive. If I had that energy vulnerability active, he'd be dead by now. And this end is actually going to turn out to be quite messy, so I do eat that level 1 here. I drop my own level 1, but Nimrod's level 1 actually does very pitiful amount of damage. So here again, he's being super defensive. Here I miss an intercept, but don't worry. Nimrod's obviously a tank. I'm still not worried. I'm just embarrassed, slightly annoyed more than worried about the fight. I always knew that I'm going to win it. And I do right here. It's just that couple of unfortunate mistakes towards the end. But mainly because that level 2, I didn't build to my level 2 quickly enough and energy vulnerability expired. And unfortunately, annoyingly, it does cost me some potions. And now we're going to go up against Havoc. And obviously Havoc with Nimrod is child's play. I say that having flashbacks of Havoc KOing me on that unblockable node, because Nimrod gains his armor up by parrying. As long as you can parry, Havoc is going to die. But still, that fight still kind of haunts my dreams a bit. This one is super easy though. We're going to see this one is going to be super, super quick. So in general fight, absolutely no worries here. So I parry a few times just to get to 10 charges, so I'm ready to activate Eradicate Protocol. Throw my level 1 just so I give him the energy vulnerability, because Havoc actually has quite high energy resistance, so that's definitely very welcome there. And then I try to build up to my level 2. At the same time, I do want to refresh my Eradicate timer. And as soon as I get to my level 2, you know, this is the part that you can always watch. You can see the level 2, he's at 63%. Very big Havoc, big boy Havoc, 63%. One drop of level 2 and the fight's over. Oh, and that level 2 is so savvy. Nimrod definitely has no chill when it comes to dealing with mutants. Man, so good. Absolutely love the guy. And now the last fight is going to be Modok with Kinetic Transference, Feat of Indestructible 2, and all the yada yada yada. But we're going to be using Magneto for this one. Now with Magneto, you do need to be actually a bit careful, because the Kinetic Transference grants double the amount of power if you perfect block. And Magneto has a high chance to perfect block against metals, obviously. Additionally, the Mr. Megamind, no, but Potato Head over here does have increased ability accuracy. So instead of basically having only 30% chance for his abilities to trigger, he probably has likely about 50-50 shot against Magneto for his abilities to trigger, because he does have increased ability accuracy as long as his Flux Dispersal is active. And every time I perfect parry, he gains such a huge chunk of power. So you're going to see that, again, one parry, he gains like half a bar of power. So I do need to be very, very careful to notice whether Kinetic Transference does trigger, whether it doesn't trigger, and obviously play accordingly. But other than that, it's obviously a stupid simple fight. It's a metal champion against Magneto, get to level 3, fight's done. It's just to be aware that the Kinetic Transference can work and can give a ton of power. But we can see as soon as we got to level 3, job's done. And well, that was also pretty much it for my Alliance War contribution. So very simple war again. I did my fights after the boss was down, so nothing too tricky, you know, and I'm fine with that. This season has not been the best season for me. I'm still kind of salty about that, ironically. But main thing is not to mess up, and you know, I'll go where I'm told to go, I'll do what I'm asked to do, and try to do it the best I can for most part. Now we are still in top 3 after this war. We have a record of 6-1, so we obviously do intend to try and finish the season in the top 3 as well. Currently ahead of us we have GT40, who are also 6-1, and we have 4 Loki with 7-0 record. So those are the matches that, you know, hopefully will kind of decide who gets the top spot and whether we can remain in top 3 and all that other stuff. We have had a couple of fairly rough seasons, so I really want this season to go well for New Nation. But that's pretty much it. A very simple, very quick Alliance War video. There's no point in holding you guys any longer. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the